I brought you on because I wanted to talk about all this cool stuff you're doing. So maybe just talk about your job and kind of what you do first, and then we're talking about the cool things you covered, because you covered really three cool things in the valley that I thought were like kind of big deal as far as
Yep.
important events in Arizona. Um, do you maybe want to talk first about what you do, and
So for me, I actually
what's the name of your company? I don't even know the name of it.
it's just my name, Slaven Creative LLC, because you got to make an LLC. You don't want to get sued by somebody and they go after your personal money. But
Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of rebranding it. It's either going to be Urban House Creative, where we're going to have a bunch of creatives working together collaboratively to just produce epic content. But what I do is I used to call myself a photographer, but that's kind of becoming a
Weird now.
dated
Yeah.
term. So
Media
I'm a
now.
creative media specialist, which
Hmm.
means I specialize in photo, video,
Hmm.
and I fly drones for a living.
So the cooler thing, I guess, would be that the third thing that you did was the Metro Center closing down type of thing,
Yeah.
where a bunch of people met out there. You want to talk about that
Yeah, it
one?
was Metro Center. I don't know how many people that are going to listen to this are from here. Dude, Metro Center was the fucking mall.
Yeah.
Like you
When
would
I was
go
a
there.
kid, it was the bomb.
Dude, my family when we first came here, like it was kind of in its decline era,
Yeah.
like 99 to 2000.
Yep.
We went there and like you walked in, and especially coming from a country that just went through a civil war, and you're going through and you're like, holy fuck, America has so much shit. I
Yeah.
remember walking through the mall, like glitz and glamour, all the stores open,
Yep.
families
Shiny and
going to Sears to buy a freaking vacuum, and then you go KB Toys, you're like, damn, this is
KB
dope.
toys. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I actually bought a remote control F14
Oh, cool.
that was like wired. And I was like, cool, I came from a country. This shit bombed me, and look what I have now. And then going to that mall and seeing it, and I knew it wasn't doing too well. Like as you went on through the years, you would see,
Yeah.
oh,
Got
more
word.
shit is closing.
Yep. Yep.
Sears closed, and then I think it was 2 weeks ago that I found out that, oh, due to COVID, it's become too expensive to maintain it.
Yep.
They gave the people 2 weeks to get the fuck out of there. Like,
Yeah.
But it was crazy because you didn't realize how much that mall meant to people.
Oh, yeah.
I went out there.
It was a corner. It was like a cultural cornerstone in Arizona.
Yeah.
For a long period of time. That's like 45 years or something like that. That's a long time.
Yeah, and
Especially in Arizona, which is not as old as like the East Coast. So like 45 years in Arizona, a lot has
That's
happened. That's ancient, exactly.
in Arizona, if it's 10 years or older, they just bulldoze and then pull it a subdivision.
Yep. Yep.
But going to that mall, I guess it started off as somebody posted in Facebook like, "Oh, we missed the mall. I wonder what they're gonna do with it." And they used to have this tradition called Cruise Metro Center,
Cruise Metro Center. Yep.
and I guess it became very controversial where they implemented a thing where
Couldn't
if
do
you
it.
cruise over,
So many times you can go around.
I think 3 times, and then you get a $250 ticket.
Yep.
So I guess a lady ended up creating a post, created an event, and this event formed into a group where it was like 16,000 people said they were going to show up. And on Saturday, which was, what was Saturday, the 27th, or I can't think.
Yeah, I think
It
27.
was on the 27th of Saturday, literally Metro Center to try to get to it. Good luck. Because I guess over 10,000 people showed up and
Oh,
they
that's
cruised around.
It's cool.
And it was crazy because, like, you go through it and you see different communities.
Mm-hmm.
You see your baby boomers, you see your Gen Xers, you see your people that have grown up in the 90s, even some millennials showed up. And it was crazy. You walk through a parking lot, you're going through, you're listening to the oldies but goodies. You walk in, you're listening to like rap music, Compton's Most Wanted, all this crap. You're literally walking through time. Sorry, I just spit COVID.
That's
But it was literally a all-inclusive group. They're
Yeah.
different ethnicities, different races. There was no shit going on. Everybody got along. They were doing burnouts. Even police officers came and did burnouts, which I thought was hilarious.
That's cool.
And my favorite moment that I've witnessed there was it was a couple of Latinos, we call them cholos, like literally guys wearing high socks.
Mm-hmm.
They're dancing, and this random middle-aged white guy comes in and just starts dancing, and it was just like a mixture of community.
Yeah.
And it just made you realize, like, even for like I grew up, I'm considered a millennial, but I grew up in an era where the internet was not around for a while.
Yep.
Like I got my first phone when I was 16.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think a lot is lost. These groups, these kids are on their phones nonstop.
Yep.
You lose that human feel. To
Yep.
us, when you go to the malls, you actually, let's say, oh fuck, Mike was being a dick to me.
Yep.
Online, you're a tough guy.
Yeah.
Second you see me in person, we talk, and then we go through our differences.
Yeah.
I think that reconnected everybody from that era where you had your dickheads and wanted to start shit, but everybody went in and was like, don't do this. This is not what it's meant to be, and they got outcasted. But it was just good seeing the whole community. I think it's also COVID related because you're locked in for 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody went out, they just had a blast, and it was just a big community. They had two of them, one on Saturday and one this past Tuesday for the last day. And I've never seen them all that busy like in the last 10 years. Then on Tuesday, it was packed with people just walking for one last goodbye.
I was a little bummed last week. It was just they tried to shut down gyms again, and one of the students, or the guy that we went downtown and went on the one wheel, he was like, "Hey, they're letting skateboarders inside," and I was tempted, but I just was just being a Debbie Downer, and I just didn't want to go out, man. But now I wish I went down there with my one wheel, cruised down Metro, and skated into the mall. That would have been fun. But
they had a takeover. It started at 6:15 where there were people rollerblading, one wheel riding.
Yeah.
And when I went in, just kind of documented through photos, I had a security guard walk up to me. "You're not allowed to take photos." And another guy goes, "Dude, we're only open for 2 more days. Let him do it."
Yeah. What do you?
But it was interesting because you got to meet a lot of people that shared their stories. Like one gentleman told me he was from Albuquerque, and he goes, "Yeah, I came here when I was with my parents when the mall first opened in 1973.
Oh wow!
I came with my parents, and we heard about this great mall that opened, and they made a trip from Albuquerque to visit a fucking mall in Phoenix." And the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was filmed there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And I was really shocked. Like they should have used the movie to promote it. Like if you want to see the mall in its glory, watch that. It was the site of the San Dimas Mall.
Yep, San Dimas Mall. Yeah.
Now you think about it, it's like, man, what the hell is going to happen to this area?
Oh, I don't even know, man.
One of my first jiu-jitsu gyms that I went into was the Gracie Barra that was run by Mark Z, R.I.P.
Yep.
It was actually at Metro, and I remember after I was finished training, I'd run over to the mall and visit the Macy's or go freaking get food in there.
Yeah.
And then to see it, like, holy crap, everything closed.
Yeah.
It's a changing world, man.
It's a changing world. Also the thing with malls in Arizona or Phoenix is weird because a lot of the country, summer is fun because you go outside, and they were in winter all year, but summer's nice and they can go out in the woods, they go out, do outdoor things. Arizona's hot.
Yep.
If you don't have a pool, you, as a kid, you don't really play. You can't go play basketball. It's 110 degrees out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't go out in the desert, go hang out in the desert. It's like 100 million degrees. Like you can literally die. It's so hot. So malls were always like a place in the summer when I was a kid that you would go and like it's cold in there, air conditioners cranking. They usually had an arcade. Yeah. You can go to the toy store. You could spend like $2. Your mom might give you some money for like the food court. And then you would just cruise the mall all day long and hang out in the mall with friends. And, like, it got you out of the house. And, like, nowadays, kids just sit on the internet all day and they don't leave the house, And there's nothing now. There's not even that. Like, there's not even malls really anymore. I was living by PV Mall for a while, and I would go take my boys there every once in a while, and it was like ghost town. And this is years ago.
In August.
I think they're done too.
Yeah, I think they announced it in August.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful mall, a one-story mall, but like it was a pretty mall.
Yeah.
And that area is not that bad, really. More Metro, everything around Metro,
it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, Dunlap's.
I don't want to call it shitty. It's just that it's a different group. But I think it's
a depressed area.
Depressed. Primary reason, I think, is just our urban planning.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it all, in Arizona, they open up places like, let's say, we have Christown Mall, we have Metro, we have Paradise Valley Mall, we have Central Mall, and all within like a 10, 15-mile radius. That's their catchment area. And I think what the main reason PV started going under was when the Scottsdale Quarter opened up.
Yeah.
They started focusing on more affluent people.
Yep.
and then
They just went there. Yeah.
everybody went there. But I'm just wondering, like, what are they gonna do with this land? Like, who's benefiting it from? The developers, or I don't
What are you
know,
gonna
man.
put there? You know what I mean? Like housing. I don't.
The market is already too high for housing.
Yeah,
or-
and then even commercial real estate, like COVID killed commercial real estate. So even these office buildings, you know, people are working from home now. You know, a lot of these office buildings are going to be empty too, because why pay thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
20, 30, $40,000 a month to have office space when you can just wire people at home?
Yeah.
Now, I did have a friend, he works for an insurance company. He was telling me that they're having super issues now with software licensing. So like now they have thousands of people working from home. They have to get new licenses so that they can use their computers at home, you know, but over time that'll be offset by just not having a place. Like it really will. Like you're not paying for electricity. So like how far does that go? You're not paying for cleaning people to clean your office. Like there's all these things that are just gone, and people don't understand like how much these places are such a ripoff. You know, they make you pay for everything. So though you're gonna have a lot of ghost town places. I don't know what they're gonna do with all this. Excuse me, all this land. And malls are huge. You know, this amount of space they take up. Even just the parking lot alone is a huge amount of space. You know, so I don't know. I don't think they have a plan. I think it's just gonna sit there and decay. You know,
It's gonna ruin the property value.
Let me talk for just a second, help me feel that sense of rhythm. Find the meanings in our bearings and discover this position as a stage along the way. Another rung to the ladder, either stalling or you're climbing, and I'd rather be the latter. Instead of getting fatter, let the footsteps resume naturally.